It is time for this week in Batesball. Bates is me. Baseball is you, the baseball fan. It is almost time for baseball season, and I'm excited about it. Are you? If you are watching live, if you're listening live, it is the 7th of March. We are into spring training. We're a couple weeks into spring training, and we are far away from opening day, but not really, three weeks. And I want to get everybody into the habit of coming on Sunday nights and watching. There's no game to watch tonight. This week's Sunday night game of the week. That's what I'll be doing all season long throughout baseball season. I'm very, very excited about it. Jennifer White in the house. Jeff's personal bully in the house. Lady Disaster in the house. Dre Houston in the house. Tonight, we're going to talk about a little bit what's going on in the world of baseball, things that I'm excited about, and we're going to look back at 1977. And I'm explaining to you why we're going to look back at 1977 right now. So in 1977, I was 7 years old. I was a little boy. Yes, you can do the math. I'm 51 now. 7 years old in 1977. And I bought my first pack of baseball cards. Thus started a lifelong love affair with baseball and baseball card collecting and the sport in itself. My Dodgers went to the World Series that year. They got beat by the evil Reggie Jackson. We'll talk about all those things right now. And I'm going to show off some of my cards. I collect some things from 1977. I'm going to take some of these out of its holder, and we're going to show off one of my favorite collections. And if we have time, we probably will not. We'll go through the 1977 set, which I have incomplete right here, and we'll talk about that. If we have time, we'll see. So let's tell the story first. Let me say hi to everybody who's popped in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dole Whip Dad is the channel. Jeff is my name. We talk a lot of Disney on this channel, but we talk about other things too. It's been my dream to talk baseball with you guys for years and years and years, and I'm doing it this year. I'm not letting anything stop me at all. Dry Nice Jeff. Dry Nice Jeff? Hi, Dave. How are you? Oh, goody. Jeff is showing off again. That's what I do best. So let's go back. Let's get in the Wayback Machine. Let's jump in the DeLorean. Let's do what we need to do and go back to 1977. I don't know if any of you were even around yet, but I was. 1977 was a big year for me. Mostly because my mom didn't hook me up. Hey, Michael Superbacker, what's going on, my man? So in 1977 should have been my first year. Francisco, we're talking a lot of Dodgers tonight, buddy. Movie Mania Nick, yes, baseball talk. So glad to see you here, buddy. Anna in the house, what's going on, Anna? Welcome in. So jump in the DeLorean, get in the Wayback Machine. Let's talk about 1977. I wanted to play baseball. They didn't have baseball yet where I lived. It was pony. It was T-ball. Back then, we didn't have what they have now, the parents pitching, the coaches pitching. They just put it on a tee. And the first year that all my friends played, they played T-ball, but I didn't sign up. I really honestly don't know why. James, what's going on, my man? Long time no see. How are you? Hey, by the way, I don't know why James popping in. Yes, I do know why. James popping in reminds me that I should tell you guys that I'll be at Disney in a week and a half. So if anybody's there, let me know. We can do a high five, a masked high five at Disney Springs or something. I would love that. Anyway, Mom didn't sign me up for T-ball. I don't know why. I don't know if I didn't ask her to, or she just didn't think I was ready. I really don't remember, but I was becoming a baseball nut at the time. And I went with a friend, and one of my friends was playing ball, and I was just the neighborhood kid who went along. And how did they get me to go along? Because they said they had these things called baseball cards. At the end of the game, they gave the guys tickets. They'd run over there. They'd buy a soda. They'd buy a whatchamacallit. Chico Sticks. Remember Chico Sticks? So good. But you could use that money and buy baseball cards. So I don't know how long it took, but a couple days worth of, I was excited. I was going to the local park, Linda Vista Park in San Marcos, California, where I years later ran the Boys and Girls Club, and we had a site there, but that's a whole other thing. So in 1977, little 7-year-old Jeff goes out to the box in between the fields at Linda Vista Park, and I'm excited to buy my first pack of baseball cards. And it was going to be 1977, tops. I get up to the line. I wait in line, 3 or 4 people in front of me. I get there, and I'm excited. I'm like, I got enough for a Chico stick, a soda, and a pack of baseball cards. And the lady says, nope, we're all out of baseball cards. But what they did have was packs of cards. They were Topps cloth stickers. So after I wiped a little tear from my little 7-year-old face, I said, all right, I don't know what that is, but I'll buy it. And the cloth stickers from 1977 are basically just some superstars. It's like the All-Star set, but they were cloth stickers. They're not that rare. I've got some still. It is what it is. But so that day wasn't the first day I ever got cards, but it is the day that I fell in love with cards. Because 1977 was that year, 77 has been the year that now as an adult, I've collected those things from that year the most. So with Disney, I collect Disney, and I collect the 40th anniversary of Disneyland. And so these Mickey Mouse verified. I've always wanted to see you here. Hope everyone's having a zippity doo day. Oh boy, glad you're here. So I collect Disneyland 40th anniversary card set, and we'll have a whole show about that one night because things have changed. I've completed that set. But so from 1995, right? For 1995, the 40th anniversary, that's my biggest thing I collect. Nostalgia for Disneyland. For baseball cards, I collect 77. Again, because of the story I just shared with you and because I'm a Dodgers fan. Now, why am I a Dodgers fan? I was born in West Covina, California. I lived in the San Fernando Valley. Yes, Valley girls. I was a Valley guy. I lived in the San Fernando Valley until I think I was 4. We moved to San Diego years later. But I was a Dodgers fan mostly because my grandma, I am Dre, more than most people would be comfortable with. In 1977, 7-year-old Jeff stayed with grandma most of my first 4 years, right? Grandma was a Dodgers fan. She was a big fan of that infield. Now I'm going to get into the deep baseball nerddom here. This is where I hope I don't scare away my Disney people, but it is what it is. The Dodgers infield in 1977 is iconic. Steve Garvey at first, Davey Lopes at second, Bill Russell at short, Ron Say at third. Were the infield that was together for the longest in the history of baseball, I believe. You talked about Tinker to Evers to Chance back in the Hall of Fame 1900-whatevers. The mid-70s Dodgers infield was together for ages. I think Bill Russell was there the first. I know Steve Garvey became a starter in 77. Ron Say, I think, became a starter in 75 or 74 and 75. Excuse me. Garvey became a starter in 74. Russell, I think, was in 71. Say was in 74, 75, and then Davey Lopes. But my point is, hey, Dave Control, what's going on, buddy? The point is those 4 were together for many, many years, the longest infield together ever. The 77 Dodgers also were the first team to have, I think it was 4 guys hit 30 home runs in eons. Reggie Smith, Dusty Baker, Ron Say, and Steve Garvey, if I have that right. And I know Garvey hit 33 home runs that year. One more Dodger story from 77, and I'll get to my cards. And I don't really know for a fact that this was in 1977. I believe it was. But little 7-year-old Jeff or some young age Jeff. Yes, some of them are. We'll get to that here in a little bit. My first game, probably my first game, an early game I went to in Dodger Stadium with my grandma and grandpa. I'm sitting in LA in the stands. My favorite player, Steve Garvey, comes up. And I yell down, like, I think he can hear me, right? I'm 7 or so. And I yell down, Garvey hit a home run. And he does. And therein became the continuous all the way tonight, well, to 2021, Steve Garvey's biggest fan. And I've always been a huge Steve Garvey fan. My all-time favorite card. Hey, Carlos, 77, the year you were born. I love it. My all-time favorite card is the 1977 Steve Garvey. Why? It's kind of an ugly card, actually, because it's my guy. And it's NL All-Star. I'm going to show you that card here in a minute. So what have I done now? As a 51-year-old, I feel like I've told you how I started to collect baseball cards in 77. My Dodgers had an iconic team that year. Now, they did go to the World Series that year, but they lost to the evil. Oh, James Ryan, I'm looking right at you, buddy. Perfect timing for that message. So I love James, but for a minute, we're going to fight, okay? So don't take it personally. James, put on your helmet because here it comes. You freaking 1977 Yankees stole it. Reggie Jackson with the hip move, bounces it out of the way. There's that classic. It might have been 78. Reggie Jackson hits 3 home runs in one game. I think 5 home runs in the series. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, is Mr. October because of 1977. Let me say that again. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, who was never a Dodger, but whatever, blasted my Dodgers in 1977. The height of his, that wasn't his MVP year. I think, was he MVP in 73? I don't know. But the height of his awesomeness. And that was the Bronx Bombers. That was the insane asylum Yankee team. Billy Martin was the coach or the manager. And James Ryan says, and I'll read it. And yet Chambliss, I've got a Chambliss story too. Chambliss, Willie Randolph, future Dodgers manager, Bucky Dent and Greg Nettles. So I was a 7-year-old Jeff was a third baseman. Okay. Older Jeff became a pitcher and a shortstop. Okay. And I caught a little bit too. But when I was in high school, I was a pitcher. I was a catcher a little bit. Wasn't very good at that, but pitcher and a shortstop mainly. All right. But 7-year-old Jeff and 8-year-old Jeff and 9-year-old Jeff and 10-year-old Jeff was a third baseman. And James, I'll be honest with you, I was a third baseman because I loved Ron Say, but I also loved Greg Nettles and I also loved George Brett. Now, Greg Nettles' son, I coached against. Chris Chambliss actually coached in Oceanside High School. Was one of they were in our league. So lots of connections to the 77, late 70s Yankees. Mostly, rest in peace, Thurman Munson. He was great. One of my all-time favorite cards is the 71 Thurman Munson. And so while we're talking about this show, this Sunday night show, I'm going to be honest with you. This is what it's going to be about. I'm going to watch on Sunday night, the Sunday night game of the week on ESPN, right? I'm going to watch together just like NFL Watch Party. I'm going to watch the game. We're going to talk about the game, and then I'm going to have other things to talk about. The week that was baseball, of course, and stuff I collect. And I'm going to bring people on now and then. So like James, if you're a Yankees fan, and by then I figure if you come to the show, if you spend maybe 5 more minutes here, James, I think I will, it's like an inoculation. I will free you of the disease that is you being a Yankees fan. So by then you probably won't be. But if for some reason you stayed a Yankees fan, maybe we'd bring James on to talk about the Yankees, or maybe a friend of mine's got a great collection of whatever. Bill from Magic of the Mouse Radio. Hey, Ma, what's going on? Hey, Frozen Mama. Oh, that's perfect time. My mom and Frozen Mama are in here. Mama, ooh. Here for a moment in the house. What's going on? So back to me. Magic of the Mouse Radio is a Phillies fan. Bill is a Phillies fan. I don't know why. I think it's a disease, just like it's not as bad as being a Yankees fan, but in some cases it's worse because at least the Yankees are really good. Phillies are not. But I actually have from 1995. Should I show it off? Maybe when the Phillies play. The Hall of Fame program, autographed by 2 classic Phillies, Richie Ashburn and Mike Schmidt. So that's kind of fun. But anyway, James Ryan, like Nick, we should like him anyway. Don't like make fun of him. But yeah, he's a Yankees fan. I don't understand. Mama 777 Rebecca says go Red Sox, which I also don't understand. Thank you for Mookie Betts, by the way. I appreciate that. But anyway, the show will be me watching baseball and commenting on it, bringing on my sports loving, especially baseball nutball friend fans, and talking about things I collect. I've got a pile. I've been going through my office to get some stuff ready for baseball season. I got a pile of Sports Illustrated's autographs right there. One of a gentleman who we're going to talk about tonight, but we'll get to it on a game where the Padres play the Dodgers. I might have a Kate Upton Sports Illustrated autograph over there. We'll talk about some of the things I've collected over the years, some things that I still have, and I'll probably mention some things I owned at one time, whether I sold them away, traded them away, or moved away from some of them. Some of them will be just, oh, that's really sad. Look at Jeff's personal bully. That is not the right way to bully me, saying the right thing. Dodgers do roll. By the way, current World Series champions, I'm just wondering. And who's going to win this year? Got to be clear. It's not even going to be close. It's my Dodgers. They won last year, and they didn't get to celebrate much. So I think they're pissed. Casey's announced. Hey, Casey. Hey, Jeff. You can try to cure me of being a Cubs fan, but I'm afraid it may be terminal. It could be worse, like the Miami Marlins. I mean, your fans actually wanted to kill a great Cubs fan. I mean, that tells you everything, Reach over. Moises Alou going to make the play. Oh, never mind. Cubs fans get screwed again. Yeah, I will. Unless you're a Dodgers fan, I will make fun of your team. It's 100% guaranteed. Unless you're the Marlins, then nobody cares. Some other teams too. Anyway, you guys ready to see the 77 cards? So I've got the whole set. Red Sox, the Red Sox are in trouble. I don't understand what they're doing. So I've got the 77 set that is incomplete. All right. I'm sure I've owned the full set in my life before, but I didn't put it together. That's down there. Oh, by the way, before we start showing off the cards that I want to show off, I love the Royals for years here for a moment. I liked them because I was a huge George Brett fan. When I collected cards, he was the first non-Dodger that I decided to collect, and I picked up all his cards when I was a kiddo. 75 rookie card was one of my first as a young man favorite pickups. Anyway, So talking about the show real fast, and then I'm going to show you one of my prized possessions that I'm still working on, but it's basically complete. Okay. And it's pretty fun. It's on my wall. I took it off my wall to show you. We'll do that here in a minute. Then there's another night where I'll show you. There's 3 of these on my wall. All right. This one I'm going to show you today. There's another one that's mostly Dodgers superstars that I'll show you, mostly 50s superstar Dodgers cards. And then next to it's the 33 Gaudies, but they're not baseball cards. You're going to have to stick around for that. But next week, I'm actually in Walt Disney World. Not really. I just lied to you. We live in Texas. We'll be in some hotel between Fort Worth and Walt Disney World. All right. So no show next week, but the show after that, we're going to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Topps baseball cards. I'm a huge fan of baseball cards. I'm a huge fan of Topps. The first major set they put out was 1952, but in 1951 they put out redbacks and bluebacks, and I've collected that set from 1951, and I have the complete set of 1951 Topps redbacks, the first major set from them. Right? The first one ever. I've got it complete. I'll show you every single one of those cards. But to commemorate the 1971 set, Topps, or 1951 set, excuse me, the 70th anniversary of the 1951 set, that was hard. They have put out in 4 different series these beauties, and they're gorgeous. And I'll give you a little hint, because this is what we're going to be showing you in 2 weeks. So there's 4 different series, 13 cards each, making for 52, which is the same as the 1951 set. And they come sealed like this. Now I opened this one. So these are brand new, but they're valuable. Now I opened this one, and that's Mike Trout, and I'm not going to show you the rest until that night. Okay. But next Sunday we're off. Sunday after that will be the last Sunday before opening day. I'm going to show you the original 1951 set. This is series 1 of 4 series, 13 cards in this box, 39 other cards. And I'm going to open them up live right in front of you. We'll complete the set, and maybe we'll get lucky. It'll be an unboxing. They have special colored autograph versions. I think they're limited to 99. We'll see if we get lucky. Makes sense. And I just put the box away, but I didn't put the whole thing in there. Makes sense. So that's not next week, the week after. Next week, I'll be on the road. I might post something, but it won't be live. Make sense? Let me get caught up in chat, and then we're going to look at the 1977 Dodgers team set autographed. And that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, Dodgers are the champions. Sad that I think the Orioles will have a better year than the Sox. Carlos, the Red Sox are going to be bad. Carlos, there is no chance the Orioles will be better. No. I don't see that happening. That's the great thing about baseball, though, right? You got to play 162. You were already in the highest place of regard. Are you a baseball fan too, Dre? Yeah, right. Trey is. Yeah, I knew that. Dre's awesome. My mom threw out my Topps 89 through 1881. I'm sure that must be a typo. I'm sure. Oh, that's 81 through 89. Well, that stinks. 81 is one of the classic sets. 81 had 81. Fernando rookie, Kent Herbeck rookie. 82, you got Cal Ripken. 83 is chock full of everybody, Gwynn and Boggs and all kinds of people. 84, great sets, got Mattingly and Strawberry. 85, great set, Clemens and Puckett. You're going to be gone? Who the heck am I going to pick on? I'll be so lost. I'll be posting. It'll just be from the road. 1980. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's what I figured. Nico the Greco in the house. How about Brewers outfield now with Jackie Bradley Jr.? I really love him defensively, especially. Great arm, great glove. Hey, Pearl Manhattan in the house. I'm a closet baseball fan. Don't have a team preference. Go Dodgers. That's what I'll say to that, Pearl. LO the Oreo. Such a great childhood we had back then. Amen, Carlos. To go to the card store. Kyle Ripken hurts most. Yeah, absolutely. The first baseball card shop in San Diego County, the owner, Nelson Katz, lived on the road that I lived on years later. I became friends with him then, and I'm still friends. He's passed away since, but I'm still good friends with his son, Steve. And that was the first baseball card store in all of San Diego County. It was in Escondido. All right. What is this? And I'll take them out and I'll show you. 1977 Dodgers is the greatest team of all time. Not really, but it's my favorite team. And I'm going to show you. How do I get these out? I will show you these cards proudly and tell you the story about them. When I was a kiddo, the 1977 Dodgers lineup was how I memorized teams. I knew their batting order. Davey Lopes was the leadoff hitter. Bill Russell was their second hitter. Reggie Smith hit third. Steve Garvey hit fourth. Ron Say hit fifth. Rick Monday, the center fielder, hit sixth. And so on and so forth. And so I'll show you the next one's in a minute. And I memorized every team I ever pretended like I knew their lineup. I went by their position because of the Dodgers 77 set. Who cares? Silly story. Leading off for the Dodgers in 1977 was Davey Lopes. Davey Lopes is a great guy. I got to meet him later. He was the Padres coach when I worked at the Boys and Girls Clubs of San Marcos in California. We would take the kids to Padre events now and then, and twice down on the field, both times. Davey Lopes was there. I think it was their first base coach. I never got to talk to him. It was always a group situation, but did get his autograph many times. I've got his autograph on the wall there. This is the 1977 top set. You can see that in 1977, they had what they call a facsimile, a fake autograph there, but that's a real autograph. Davey Lopes autographed it. And again, 1977. I can tell you this is a great card for a couple of reasons. In the set, he's in the National League Championship Series set. He's also in the league leader set. He led the league in stolen bases in 1976, along with Billy North. And so he's on the stolen base leader set. So again, that's Davey Lopes, the Dodgers the Dodgers second baseman and leadoff hitter, autographed. And this set is the 1977 Dodgers team set, but autographed. Hey, Annie, what's going on? Hey, Chat Ninja watching Cat Chat. Go Mariners, go Mariners. The Mariners are in trouble. The Dodgers have a chance to break the Mariners all-time record for wins. Everybody does, but I actually think the Dodgers have a shot. With Mariners won like 114 or something that year with Ichiro when he was the MVP. Welcome in, Annie. Disney World Freak, I had 81, 83, 89 top set. Bought a full 89 wax box with my allowance and shop and Cape Cod. My friends thought I was rich. I love that. I remember the 89 set. So 81 was a great set. I love that set. My Dodgers won the World Series in 81. 83 has a special place in my heart, though, because I'm a San Diegan, and Tony Gwynn's rookie card was in there. Ryan Sandberg's rookie card is in 83. Wade Boggs' rookie card is in 83. That's a great, great, great set. And then the 89 set is too bad. In 87, 86 really, they started to mass produce the top set. And I love the 89 set. They had that draft pick set, really good cards in there, but basically worth toilet paper, the 89s. 81's got value. 83's got value. No great rookies in 81. 1980, Ricky Henderson was the big rookie, but still a great set. NASCAR now baseball, must be spring. Turn left, faster. Yeah, Wade Boggs in 83. So anyway, 1977 Topps Dodgers set kicks off with Davey Lopes autograph card. Hitting second for the Dodgers in 1977 was generally their shortstop, Phillies killer, Billy Russell. Later, their manager. Yeah, he was the first of the four of the infielders on the Dodgers to stay together so long. He took over at shortstop before any of the rest of them. Again, went on to become the Dodgers manager. And again, that you can see the fake autograph on the bottom there and the actual autograph right in the middle. Now, when I collect these cards, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a 1977 Topps autographed by their starting offense, then the pitching staff, and then all the rest of the guys. And the goal has been to get it in blue ink, Dodger blue. So it's pretty freaking specific. And I'll explain it as I go. So anyway, the second hitter and the second card I'm showing off in the set, Billy Russell. Now, this guy was one of my favorites. Switch hitter, started off with the Red Sox, I believe. In 1977, he blasted over 30 home runs, one of a couple Dodgers that did that. You can see the fake autograph and then the real autograph really bigger. Reggie Smith. I always love this guy. Amazing, amazing. He played right field for the Dodgers, hit third in their lineup, and just mashed that year. Love him, love him, love him. He was number 3 in their set. My oldest daughter had a crush on Ichiro when he was with the Mariners. Pearl, I was in spring training. So me and my good buddy, Andy and Ben, let me pull that up. There we go. Used to go to spring training every year, about for 10 years or so, 12 years, whatever. We lived in San Diego. They were big Padres fans. The Padres, spring training, and I've got a Yuma convert. I've got a pretty cool right there. I'll show you in the future. Pretty cool 1983 spring training program. 83 being the year Tony Gwynn was a rookie. He actually had a broken wrist, but I got him and others to autograph that, including a couple Hall of Famers. I'll show that off on a future date. But later, when we were old, because I was 13 then, when we were older, got a great Tim Flannery story then. Good stuff. But later, we would go as adults to spring training every year. And I was there, and we were there the first season of Ichiro when he was a rookie. Watching him warm up and throw from the outfield, one of the things I will never forget. A whole bunch of stories along those lines. Great spring training stories that I'll share with you. I'm sorry, Dole Whip Dad, but I'm a Cubs fan. No problem, Anna. I like you anyway. Good to see you, Pearl. Bill Russell was the greatest. Wait, wrong sport. You're right, by the way. This argument, Kobe and Michael Jordan, and I love Magic. He was my favorite. I never got to see the great Bill Russell play. Talking about the center for the Celtics here, but the stats bear out that him and Chamberlain were the top two players ever. Russell on the defensive end, Chamberlain on the offensive end. I did get to meet Bill Russell, that one. I didn't get to meet him. I never shook his hand. I talked to him really quickly. He was at a Boys and Girls Club event. I didn't even get a picture with him, so it is what it is. Be a whole bunch of stories along those lines too. Casey Bryant says, Jeff, who was your best autograph giver as far as personable? Mine was Paul Konerko. I've heard Paul Konerko is a great guy. And Andre Darson. Oh, very cool. I used to love him. Least personable, Ryan Sandberg. Oh, that's too bad. Boy, that's a hard one, Casey. I've got more than my fair share of autographs. And one night we'll go through a bunch of we could probably, even for a 4-hour game, I couldn't get through all my baseballs I have autographed. Casey, I'm going to try. Let me try to answer that. My best autograph giver as far as personable. Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bruce Bochy, but that's a hard one. I bet I can come up with more. Bruce Bochy's story is actually about Dave Roberts. You want that story now? I'll give the story now. So we used to go to spring training every year. We would go to the practices. The practices are the places that you get to have the conversations. When there's kids there, we'd always let the kids go first. When there wasn't kids there, we'd step up and get autographs on baseballs and have conversations and take pictures. I'll show you some of those pictures too. Certainly show you some of the baseballs we got autographed. And one year we had Bruce Bochy there. It's actually a pretty funny story. So Dave Roberts, so I'm a Dodgers fan, okay? Dave Roberts is now the Dodgers manager. Obviously we didn't know he's a Dodger yet. I played high school baseball, but I played high school football against Dave Roberts. My senior year was Dave Roberts' junior year. I went to San Marcos High School. Dave Roberts went to Rancho Buena Vista. Rancho Buena Vista's first season as a school was my Dave Roberts' junior year and my senior year. Get into the autograph, I swear. Dave Roberts was a lot better than me. And he's their quarterback. I was more of an offensive player, but for this play I'm going to tell you about, I'm playing safety, which was a horrible idea on my coach's part. And so Dave Roberts, the most iconic stolen base in Boston Red Sox history, obviously not yet, right? Unbelievably fast. In high school, he was pretty unbeatable. And as a quarterback, so I'm playing safety, right? And I'm going to get to the autograph story in a minute, I promise. I'm playing safety, and he's running for a touchdown. It's just the end zone and me are the only thing in between Dave Roberts and a touchdown. And so, but I'm there, right? I break down, I go to make the tackle, and he's gone. So I'm getting an autograph from Bruce Bochy. And now Bruce Bochy, this is years later, obviously. The Dave Roberts story that I just told you was my senior year in high school, Dave Roberts' junior year in high school, okay? So graduation year 88. So football season 87. Okay. Is that right? That's right. Yes. Pretty sure. Yes. So I'm getting the autograph from Bruce Bochy years later. Okay. Bruce Bochy, the manager of the Padres at the time, goes on to be the manager of the Giants. And I'll get caught up in chat here in a minute. So Manager Bochy is autographing my ball and my buddy's ball and Ben's ball and Andy's ball, and he gets to my ball. And the managers generally, when you get more than one autograph on a ball, when you're trying to get a team signature, so the whole ball is signed by all the guys, which I was trying to do with the Padres that year, the manager's spot usually is in the sweet spot. Do you know what the sweet spot is? Do I have a baseball? Here, hold on. Okay. So this is not really autographed. It's just one of those fake ones. Here's a real ball. So, okay, let's do it this way. So for this baseball, the sweet spot would be right there. So if you got Babe Ruth autograph, you want it right there. You got Mickey Mouse, you want it right there. The best place to sign a ball is right there. That's called the sweet spot. So if you're getting a whole bunch of guys to sign it, the whole team, in this case, the manager goes there. Okay, long story short, not really my show. Long story long. Coach Bochy goes to autograph it, and he pulls it up, and there's autographs everywhere, and he sees I'm almost done. He's all, what the heck? Dave Roberts had already signed it right in the sweet spot. So we had a whole conversation about Dave Roberts, and he was picking on Dave Roberts. And anyway, that's kind of fun. So Bruce Bochy was a lot of fun. His son was playing community college baseball at the local community college. Well, frankly, where I went for a year, it was in our local area. And so my buddy Andy was having a conversation with him about his son who pitched 1 year there, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, but there's a lot of answers to that. That's one of the many stories that I'll be able to share, autograph stuff. I hope I'm not boring you with that. I like talking about this stuff. Let me get caught up in chat. Casey, I hope that answers your question. Probably can give you a new answer every week on that, but that's the one that pops in my head. I had a full 81, 83 set and my loser ex stole them. Oh, so Lady Disaster, that's Jeff's personal bully. 81 set was a great set, iconic set, not worth a ton. 83 set, even better. Again, Ryan Sandberg, Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, who am I forgetting? Bunch of other stars in the 83 set had rookies. You could probably pick them both up for a couple $100, and you can put them together for, actually, when you put them together, it's a little more than that, but it's kind of fun. My son and I met him at a card show. Dave, who'd you meet at a card show? I've got a lot of card show stories too. I kind of made money through college being a baseball card dealer guy. I also love the Yankees, says Rebecca. Nice. From the state of Oregon. We don't have professional baseball. Yeah, that's true. Who would be the local? I guess Seattle, would be the local, right? Knock, knock, says Mar. Oh, Bruce, who's there? Everybody knock, knock joke. Dave Roberts, the Yankee killer. He's our Bucky freaking Dent. Yeah, I remember that home run. Was that 77, 76, 76, 77? Big home run by Bucky Dent. I think Chambliss was 77. I think Dent was 76. Wouldn't swear that. Pearl says, my local team is one of the two farm teams for the Mariners. Which one? Spokane? Was great fun to get cheap tickets. I love minor league ball. So I used to go to Lake Elsinore, again, San Diegan, Dodger fan. Lake Elsinore was a Padres single A team. Beautiful park. Class A California League stadiums. Wow. Gorgeous. Actually, I had an office for a while. I've worked for the Boys and Girls Clubs and now another after school program since 93, except for there was a year and a half that I was in insurance. And my office looked down on a training facility that officers, they would blow up stuff. It was pretty crazy. But then there was trees, and then there was a ball field that was where San Bernardino Spirit. I wouldn't swear to that. San Bernardino Spirit, I think they were a Dodgers minor league team at the time, but before that, they were where Ken Griffey Jr. Was a minor league ball player. By the way, I've got a great Ken Griffey Jr. story we'll talk about one night when the Mariners are on, or I think of it. The Ken Griffey Jr. story is so crazy. I feel like people think I'm lying when I tell it. I got a couple good stories. That one in the top couple Tommy Lasorda stories are pretty crazy. I heard Jose Canseco was pretty rude to autograph seekers. Yeah. So Casey was asked me the worst one. My buddy dealt with Barry Bonds a couple times, never directly with me, so it wouldn't work with me. But Barry Bonds was never Mr. Friendly. I mean, I don't get mad. Oh, Trevor Hoffman, Casey was probably the nicest. I should have thought of that. I got a bunch of Trevor Hoffman stories. I like to think I'm just a positive guy. I'm not going to think of the negative ones as much. Mike Schmidt yelled at my friend, but he gave me an autograph. I've never really had a really horrible one. I've got some crazy stories. Thank you, Casey. Jeff, in your opinion, who do you think is the best Atlanta Brave of all time? Hank Aaron. Eddie Matthews can make an argument. Warren Spahn can make an argument, but Hank Aaron is one of the top 3 or 4 baseball players of all time. Babe Ruth is clearly the greatest player of all time. It's really not up to anybody's opinion. It really is just a fact. I know people can have their opinion, but the dude is the greatest offensive power hitter of all time. Oh, and by the way, he still holds World Series pitching records. That's how good Babe Ruth was. Now, to be fair, he played in an era where not everybody played. You know, could a reliever today strike him out? Of course, but greatest Brave of all time has got to be Hank Aaron. Eddie Matthews and Warren Spahn are going to be up there, but yeah, it's Hank Aaron. Hammer and Hank. Mr. Willie, what do you think? Have you ever been to Kauffman Stadium there in Kansas City? I've driven by it. I've never been into it for a game there. I drove by the stadiums in Kansas City. I never went to a game. I wish. One day, I'm 51 now. So, you start to think about some of those end of life vacation things. And, there's a lot of things I want to do. I don't know that I'll ever do this, but it's always had that thought that maybe one summer I would take a trip and go hit all the stadiums. I've had friends do it. We'll see. Maybe. Rainiers are in Tacoma. Okay. And I think it's the Aqua Sox in Everett. Okay. Didn't know that, Pearl. Very cool. I would pick Hank Aaron too. Yeah. I mean, that's an easy one. I have a rookie card, Griffey. I do too. I have a great Griffey story. All right. Let's get back to the cards. So this is my all-time favorite card ever. It's the 1977 Steve Garvey card. My favorite all-time player ever. I have met him a few times. I actually had a lunch schedule with him. A buddy of mine had a business relationship with him. And I had a meeting with him and it got canceled. I think his son got sick. I don't really remember. And then I took another job and I left that organization. And so we never got to reschedule it. So that's a bummer. But so I've never met him personally. I have bumped into him. I've been in areas with him. I actually went into the bathroom. We went in the same bathroom at the same time. That's a creepy story. And anyway, but Steve Garvey, my all-time favorite. It's my all-time favorite card, all-time favorite player. I deeply believe he should have been a Hall of Famer. It's hard to make the argument when you look at stats, but at the time, everybody thought he was a Hall of Famer. I don't know why it didn't work out. The world changed. MVP in 1977, All-Star Game MVP, I think twice, one of the clutch hitters of all time. At the time that he said it, was known as Mr. Iron Man. Now, Cal Ripken came along. In 84, I guess, Griffey set the National League record for most consecutive games played. And he was the one that they thought might go get Lou Gehrig's record for consecutive games. Then I think he broke his wrist or something at a doubleheader, actually. Regardless, he was thought of as the Iron Man until Cal Ripken took it over and he passed Lou Gehrig later, as everybody knows. I met Luis Gonzalez. What a great guy I've heard he was from the Diamondbacks multiple times. He's always great. Yeah. Adopted a bunch of kids. Luis Gonzalez base hit off of, I guess, Mariano Rivera to win the World Series that year. I've heard great things about Luis Gonzalez. I never met him. Very cool. Trey says, awesome. Jeff plus my favorite sport equals epic. Thank you, Team Marie. Guys, I'm going to do this. Like, even if zero people came to this stream, Sunday nights, I'm watching baseball, and I got to be honest with you. I could see it doing. I could see my channel going more baseball than Disney. I just love this stuff, but I'm not going to ever stop doing Disney. Anyway, this is my all-time favorite card, and yes, it's autographed by the great Steve Garvey, and I love it. And again, trying to get them all in blue. We got to meet Jim Rice. Nice. I loved watching him mash. He was left fielder for the Red Sox. He's in the 77 set. I don't know much about him as a guy, but what a great player. Hall of Famer, right? And my father-in-law was able to have us meet umpire Steve Palermo. Oh, Steve Palermo, very famous. Probably the most famous recent umpire. I won't even say why, just because I don't want to offend any, but I bet you know why, Dave. I will forever remember him getting in that bloop shot against the Yankees. Yeah. Mariano Rivera threw one pitch ever. He made the Hall of Fame throwing one pitch ever. Early in his career, he threw fastballs too, but basically he was throwing a cutter every time. And he threw a cutter to Luis Gonzalez, sawed it off, broke his bat basically, but he lifted it up, base hit, won the World Series for him. Hank Aaron had a fan ask for some of his hair. That's creepy. Yeah, I didn't get to meet Hank Aaron, but he was also at a Boys and Girls Club event. I tried to chase him down. That's how much I loved him, but there was too many people and I didn't want to be a punk. Talk about a chase down story. Colin Powell, not a baseball player, but we should talk about that one night. But anyway, has nothing to do with 1977 in the Wayback Machine. Third baseman Ron Say. I never got to meet him either. He was at a Hooters. What was that town? Along the 10 freeway in California. Can't remember the name of the town, but it was kind of far. And he was there for a UFC event. This is when I still lived in California. It's like 10 or 12 years ago. And I was going to go. I was going to go watch the UFC and meet Ron Say and get an autograph. But I didn't. I don't remember why. Probably because I was tired. But anyway, I've never met Ron Say. But this is an autograph card of Ron Say. Third baseman for the Dodgers, the Penguin. I was sad. I remember when in the World Series, I don't know if it was 77, 78, or 81. I think it was 81. Pretty sure it was 81. The Dodgers played the Yankees in 77, 78, and 81. I think this was 81. And Rich Goose Gossage, who later became a Padre, beamed him, threw a fastball and hit him right in the head. And I was mad. Yeah, James Ryan, he was a Penguin because he ran funny. Ron Say was a Penguin because he ran funny. All right, so this next one's a pretty funny story. Or I don't want to call it a funny story. It's an interesting story, and it made for a challenge for my set, and it makes it incomplete. It's the main reason why my set's not incomplete. And then this is one. Oh, I'm going to leave this one out. Interesting. And then we've got somebody who just passed away and is in the Hall of Fame. And we'll tell some more stories. All right. Ready, set? So, How are we on the clock? 20 more minutes. Okay. I honestly don't know. I have not heard from Pete in a while, guys. And I know he's supposed to go live. I don't think he is going live tonight, but I'm going to stop at 7 just to be respectful. We do have Creator Talk tonight, 9:30 my time, 10:30 Eastern time. We're going to talk about how to get your live streams to get views on replay and some other stuff too. Clubhouse, monetization's coming. If you know what Clubhouse is, that app, monetization's coming. We'll talk about some other things too. Okay. Back to the 1977 set. This is interesting. Rick Monday, the great Rick Monday, popular for a couple of reasons. Rick Monday is the player. He was actually on the Cubs, but this was at Dodger Stadium at the time where those two, I think it was in 76, 75, it was in the 70s sometime, were two, I guess I want to call them terrorists. I don't really know what they were. Crazy people. Ran onto the field in Dodger Stadium, threw a flag on the ground, and attempted to light it on fire. Rick Monday was standing in the outfield, and the world was different back then. Hallelujah to that. And Mr. Rick Monday ran and grabbed it and took it away and became a hero to all of America. I don't know if you guys know that. Does anybody know that story? It's a pretty cool story. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. There's a great play-by-play of it by Vin Scully, the great Vin Scully. I have a great Vin Scully story for you. Actually, two great Vin Scully stories. We'll get to those someday too, I'm sure. Anyway, so Rick Monday in 1976 was on the Cubs. He got traded. He and Mike Garman, a relief pitcher, got traded to the Dodgers in the offseason for Billy Buckner, who would go on, great ball player, but went on into infamy. He just passed away. It's too bad, for missing the ground ball under his legs and sending Ray Knight home and the Mets to the World Championship. Winning game 6 in, I guess, 86. Anyway, Rick Monday was on the Cubs in 76. So in the 77 set, Rick Monday's on the Cubs. So that's the card signed by Rick Monday on the Cubs. Now, the story gets crazier. Okay? It's a cool card, but he's on the wrong team. O-Pee-Chee is the Topps version of cards in Canada. In the O-Pee-Chee set in 1977, Rick Monday, who was on the Cubs and the Topps, is on the Dodgers. Same design, different set. Again, Topps, O-Pee-Chee. O-Pee-Chee being the Topps version in Canada. So I have the Rick Monday autographed, and it's in blue, and I'm happy. And I have the O-Pee-Chee card. And I got to be honest with you. I think I bought an autographed card. I think I have this autographed. And I might just need to add it to it. Maybe it happened. I don't know. Whatever. So this makes it incomplete. Cool story, right? All right, let me get caught up in chat, and I'll show you the next one. I got an autograph by Steve Garvey and Mike. Who's Mike? That's cool, Francisco. Steve Garvey's my all-time favorite. Who's Mike, though? Mar says, on Donna's cooking stream today, she said Pete and Steve would be on next Sunday. Okay, good. Well, I'm still not going to go over probably, but good to know. Dave says, I blame Bob Stanley for that play. He was nowhere near first base, so Buckner had to rush. Dave proving he knows his stuff. I don't know. Come on, make the play, right? Maybe if he makes the play and he's not there, then it's Stanley's fault. But it does suck, though. Bill Buckner, from everything I heard, was a great guy. Great ball player, great career. I'll only remember that. Going to try to tour Globe Life tomorrow. Haven't seen it yet. Globe Life here in Texas? I don't know. That's what we used to call it here. So this I need to make a change to. This, I have the Steve Yeager from 77. This ain't it. Yeah, he couldn't run. He ran weirder than Ron Say ran, and they called him the Penguin. He looked like a vulture. Bill Buckner looked like a vulture running. You ever, right? Like all wide. Anyway, Steve Yeager, this is a 76 Topps. I do have the 77 Topps set, or Topps card autographed. So I'll probably leave this one out. I just haven't bothered. I don't even know where it is, but I own that one. So this is 76, little throw off, whatever. Did you see? Yeah, I did, Cricket. Actually, you're the one that told me that. The Seattle Mariners had a triple play in their spring training game yesterday. So this one is now sad. I'm as lost here in the baseball stream as I was in the football stream, says Mar. I don't know who most of these names are. I do know Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth. Well, I'll try to name bigger names. Now, this next guy's in the Hall of Fame, but I doubt you know him, but we'll try. Don Sutton, most wins ever Dodger pitching, which is crazy. Don Sutton, you might know better as an Atlanta Braves broadcaster. Don Sutton is in the Hall of Fame. I think he threw a no-hitter for the Angels. I might have that wrong. No, he won his 300th game for the Angels. That's what it was. Mike Witt threw the no-hitter. Sorry. Anyway, Don Sutton, one of all-time greats. Don Sutton wasn't my favorite. Don Sutton got in a fight with Steve Garvey. Don Sutton is such a nice guy that at the end of the fight, Don Sutton, good Christian man, his Christian faith was hugely important to him. And when the fight happened, he apologized profusely. He apologized in the press. He apologized to Steve Garvey, and he never really got over it from everything I read. Anyway, great man, great pitcher. And that's his card from 1977, autographed in blue ink. Mike Scioscia, baseball autograph. Oh, nice, Francisco. You had Garvey and Scioscia. Scioscia was one of my all-time idols. The rules have changed now, but Mike Scioscia was the best at blocking the plate in my era as a fan, by far. The rules have changed. Buster Posey broke his leg a couple years ago. Guy cut him in half. Ray Fosse got cut down by Pete Rose. They probably should have changed the rule then, but they didn't. But the Buster Posey rule pretty much makes it that the players aren't going to bowl over the catchers like they used to. But that's kind of what Scioscia was known for. And one of the great managers in baseball history. I really wanted Scioscia to become the manager of the Dodgers when he was at the Angels, but I'm happy that we got Mr. Dave Roberts. Bill Buckner should have been playing at first base in the ninth because he had bad knees and should have been replaced with someone else. It's the thing, man. It's easy to look back. You never know. 13 minutes left, guys. If you're brand new here, welcome. Jeff Bates is my name. Dole Whip Dad's the channel. Sunday nights are for baseball, the Sunday night game of week. We will not have a show next week because I will be in the car. I'll probably be in a hotel by this time, heading to Walt Disney World. But every other Sunday, all the way to the Super Bowl, to the World Series, God willing, family stuff comes first. We'll be going live talking baseball and doing this kind of stuff during the game. Don Sutton was on the 82 Brewers. The Brewers had a great team in 82. Gorman Thomas, a big power hitter. Ben Ogilvy, Jimmy Gantner over at second. Yeah, he was on the Brewers. That's right. And they went to the World Series. They lost, I think, to the Cardinals in 82. If I have that correctly. I think I have that correct. Somebody out there can check me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. That's okay. Baseball is easy to pick up much. It is, James. I agree, what James said. Don threw 5 1-hitters and 10 2-hitters. Think about that, Cricket. That's nuts. So the great Nolan Ryan threw 7 no-hitters, but nobody else got more than 4. And only one guy ever got 4, Sandy Koufax. As a matter of fact, only one guy ever got 3, if I have that right. That's Bobby Feller. So you take those 3 people out, and nobody got more than 2 back then. I mean, now people have Justin Verlander, and people recently have done it. But at the time, and he had all of those 1-hitters and 2-hitters. That's amazing. Don't tell me you're a Yankees fan. Yeah, Yankees fans, I mean, we love James Ryan, but I don't know. When I was a dad's caregiver, says Mar, I lived with him. We watched the Reds faithfully every time they were on. Nice. I've got a pretty good Pete Rose story. Not a nice guy. Gave me his autograph. Probably the first celebrity that cussed in front of me. Pretty sure. That would have been, I was in junior high. I bet I was 12. Bet I was a 7th grader. San Diego School of Baseball. That's a story. We'll share that one night. Is baseball still America's game? Hey, howdy. Hey, I say so. Yes, I think it is. Oh my. So my Tina, I bleed Yankee blue. Ugh. You are correct. The Brewers lost the Cardinals in 7 games. Yeah. That Cardinals team in 82 is pretty good. Whitey Herzog manager, Tommy Herr, Ozzie Smith, right? Good team. Yeah, Ozzie Smith. Yeah. Hey, Sandy, what's going on? All right, let's move along. So this guy was actually most of a relief pitcher. Andy Hadley mentioned you, buddy. Andy Hadley is one of my friends. Guys, that's Andy. He doesn't come on YouTube very much, but I mentioned that we were at spring training. Andy is the guy I was talking about that Mike Schmidt yelled at, that was talking to Bruce Bochy about his kid. That's Andy. And when I talk spring training stories, Andy's going to be involved in all of them. Andy, what's going on? Andy, we're going every Sunday night. I tried to get Andy to be my co-host for the show, but he's afraid of actual talking out loud, apparently. But that's right. Anyway, Charlie Huff. So Charlie Huff was a reliever mostly for the 77 team. Wasn't a starter, but certainly got a lot of innings. He's actually the guy who started the first game in the Florida Marlins history. And back to the 77 set. This is the 77 card autographed by the great Charlie Huff. Through a knuckle curve. Played with the Rangers. What, Pete Rose cuss? I'm totally shy. I know, right? But it's a little kid, 12, whatever. Might be headed out next weekend to spring training. Jerk. Am I invited? I'm going to Disney next week. So I guess you can go. All right. Couple more cards to show you. We got 9 more minutes in the show. See if we can get through it. I doubt we will complete it because I talk too much. Tommy John. You know him for the surgery. He was a great Dodger. He played for a zillion years. Oh, it's coming out. I'll put it back in a minute. Tommy John. You know him from Tommy John surgery. Back in the day when the great Dr. James Andrews, I hope that's him, pretty sure it was him, invented the surgery. They named it after Tommy John because that was the first guy it was successful with, I believe, pretty sure. Anyway, so Tommy John was a Dodger. I think he won a game in the World Series in 77. I wouldn't swear to it, but he had a big season there. Ended up going to the Yankees, pitched for a zillion years. One of the first pitchers that pitched deep. See, Andy, I'll call you tomorrow. Into his career, was one of my favorites. Threw soft, kind of the soft left-hander. And I can't get this back in. I'll do it later. Anyway, that's the great Tommy John autographed. Yeah, everybody say hi to Andy. He's already gone by now, but he's a good guy. I was hoping he'd be my co-host. Bert Hooton, knuckle curve. I think Charlie Huff had a knuckle curve too. Bert Hooton was one of the starters on the Dodgers in 1977. And you can see a big, bold, blue 77 card autographed by the great Bert Hooton. Kind of fun. Yeah, I had to Google Tommy John surgery for my dad. Yeah, so if you have a rotator cuff injury, you're probably getting TJ, Tommy John surgery. If you're just Jim Bob down at the mall, it's not that big of a deal. If you're a pitcher, now it seems that guys who have it young actually gain strength. They get more miles per hour and they have an extension on their career. But back in the day, it was 18 months that you're taking a vacation. Many people, before Tommy John, it ruined your career. I've had plenty of friends, actually Andy, who just left. Pretty sure he had Tommy John surgery. My mom has had shoulder surgery, and I'm actually worried I might need it someday. Hopefully I won't. My shoulder hurts all the dang time. Pitcher, quarterback, threw a lot. Dr. Job. Dr. Job's awesome now. Dr. Andrews, I think, was the guy who did the Tommy John. You might be right, though. It might be Dr. Job. I don't know. Doug Rao, starter. See, now I must move this one, too. Doug Rao, little lefty for the Dodgers in 77. Didn't have a long career, but, it's slipping all over the place, isn't it? I'll have to fix those. Anyway, he was there. A Yankee fan and living in New England, right? Yeah, exactly. 2 more left in this list, and I'll show you the rest here on the bottom. Mike Garman came over in the Rick Monday trade I told you about. He was a key reliever for the Dodgers. They didn't have an OPG card for him, so I put him in with the Cubs. But he was a Dodger in 77. I got that one autographed. And then Manny Mota, at the time, was the all-time pinch hitter. Jose Mota, his son, has been working for, I think, ESPN and the Angels for years. You might know his son. Manny Mota was their major pitch hitter and set the all-time record at the time for most pinch hits. And I love that autograph. It's just beautiful. Big, proud blue ink. The great Manny Mota. I lived my life in NYC, says James. Nice. All right. And then we want to do, we got time. 6 more. All right. 6 more. Only 6 more minutes, Only 2 more cards in the set to show off. And I will do so right now. There's 3 more cards down there that I'm not going to show you right now because they don't have anything to do with the set. 83 tops, Steve Garvey, me, and then 87 tops, Steve Garvey. Obviously, mine's not autographed because it's mine. Okay. Johnny Oates, the great Johnny Oates. Johnny Oates was the backup catcher. So Steve Yeager was the catcher for the Dodgers that year. My grandma's favorite player was Davey Lopes and Johnny Oates. Johnny Oates was the backup catcher. He came over in between the 76 and 77 season 2 from the Phillies. He actually died of brain cancer. He was the Rangers manager. He's in the Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, I believe. And Johnny Oates, from all accounts, was a great man. I never met him. I don't know this. But he autographed, you can see right there, he put Jeremiah 29:11. I think that's and I'll do all things in Christ. Pretty sure that's right. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong. But the great Johnny Oates, beautiful autograph. Again, passed away a few years back. Kind of more famous as a manager than a ball player, but left-handed hitter, he's pretty good. Back up to Steve Yeager. And then last but not least, and I will give you a hint of the story, and then I'll leave it at this. The team cards, they're hard to get. The team cards are hard to get without being marked up because they're a checklist card. Can you see that? And they're hard to get because kids would check them off. So that one's unchecked. But better than that, they serve as the manager card, Tommy Lasorda. And yes, that's autographed by the great Tommy Lasorda, who we just lost. And I cried. I met Tommy Lasorda a few times. I feel like you're going to think I'm a liar here, but he called me on the phone. I didn't call him. He called me. And I'll tell you that story another time because we're almost out of time. 4 minutes left. If you want to hear about the Tommy Lasorda story, before I know the plans I have for you. Thank you here for a moment. I knew when it came out of my mouth I was wrong. Anyway, it's a good story, and I'll share it with you another time. This Week in Batesball, named after This Week in Baseball. When I was a kid, it was my favorite show. This Week in Baseball was my favorite show. God gave me the name Bates. You're not supposed to name stuff after yourself. It's a little creepy, but it fit well. This Week in Baseball, Twib Notes with me. Thank you here for a moment. I love this. I love this. We got 23 in the house right now. I got to be honest with you. If it was 2, I wouldn't care. I love this. I will have guests on. Not always. We're going to talk about things I collect, and we're going to talk about the game on Sunday night. Sunday night game of the week is, I think the first one is at 7 o'clock Eastern, and then the other ones are at 8:30. I don't want to lie to everybody, but whatever. I'm going to be live for the whole game, just like I was for baseball. Back in the day, the NFL Watch Party kind of came of a show I was doing 2 years ago. That's how I met Kelly from Myers and the Mouse. That's how we met Pete. Obviously, Pete through the Disney thing. But there's other shows on Sunday nights, friends of mine. And I've thought about it, and I frankly prayed about it. But the truth is, I've been wanting to do a baseball show for years. I thought about doing a whole nother channel. I'm just going to do it right here because this is where my friends are. Love the Sports Machine, George Michael. So I like George Michael. Gotta have faith. But I did watch that show many hours of watching that. Highlights, back then, Casey, we didn't have highlights. Now you go on YouTube and watch highlights. Sports Center was a big deal when that came out in the 80s. 79, I think it started. So 80s for me. But yeah, the George Michael Sports Machine, right? Absolutely. Look like everyone is giving you a like. Oh, thank you. I don't even have the likes pulled up. I honestly don't look for likes. I'll look at it afterwards. I don't look at the likes or the dislikes until after the show usually. Guys, I do. It means a lot that you're here. It's a Disney Channel, and I want to serve my audience, and I want to make sure you guys are having a good time. This one's for me, and it's going to grow. I love baseball, and I figured that I hoped that there would be a sliver of Disney people that would come over and watch the sports, the baseball with me. And I got to be honest with you, it worked over. We were spreading the show, the football show, between Jeff's personal bully. I appreciate you sticking around. We were spreading the show around the 3 channels, and it was better on Pete's show. It was just better on Pete's channel. And I love it. But you guys kind of proved to me that you would come. And if you're a baseball fan at all, I hope you're going to continue to come on Sunday nights for This Week in Baseball. If the Sunday night baseball game is on, I'll be here unless family gets in the way, unless we're on vacation or somebody gets sick or something. I'll be here all throughout the year. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be talking about the week that was baseball, the week that is baseball, and I'm going to tell you some of my stories. The good thing about getting old is you get a whole bunch of stories. I've been involved with baseball as a fan for years. I had a pass for 2 years. Basically, it was a season pass for the Dodger game. I lived in San Diego, but I got to sit up in the press level. Got lots of stories for that. I've been blessed. I have a lot more stories than I probably should, and I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. Growl, thank you, Dave. Yeah, people will come. That's a great show. People will come, Ray. People will come. Have a catch. All right. I love that, and I love you guys. Field of Dreams, best movie ever. That's it. I don't think there's a show on Pete's channel right now. I'm pretty sure we verified that there's not. I do think there's other people that go at this time. During this season, I'm going through the whole game. So It is what it is. But for now, I'm going to get out of whoever's way that is going it live. It's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock my time. I do have another show tonight, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 my time, Creator Talk. We're going to be talking about a few things. Clubhouse, the new app, has monetization coming. I want to talk about that. Oh, live streams, how you can get replay views, which I'll be doing here in a minute. And we'll talk about that and something else and anything you want to talk about. How to grow on YouTube and other social medias. And just last week was kind of a you can kind of do it kind of thing, or 2 weeks ago. Creator Talk Live. It's been one of my favorite shows. I suspect this is going to be my new favorite show. That's it. I'm going to shut up. No, Pete is back soon. Yeah, I heard next week. Are we rewriting that saying? If you stream it, they will come. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Good job. Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. Donna said it will be next Sunday. Cricket. Everyone have a wonderful night. I think we're done for the night again. What is it? 7. So in 2.5 hours, Creator Talk Live. We'll be talking about how to grow replay views on your live stream. So if that's you, if you're on the replay and you waited all the way to the end, you've been here for a whole hour, you rock. Hashtag Team Replay in the, well, not in the chat. It'd be in the comments if you're on Team Replay, right? Nico, thank you. If you stream it, I need to write that down. If you stream it, they will come. See you later here for a moment. Is that on here, Jeff? Yeah, right here on YouTube. 9:30 my time, 2.5 hours from now, 10:30 Eastern time. Creator Talk Live. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Next week, no show. The following week, we're talking about the 1951 Topps Redback set and the remakes of it, celebrating 70 years of Topps. I have reached out to the artist. He didn't respond, so I doubt he'll be here, but I will try again, Blake Jameson. But next Sunday, I will be on the road to Disney. If you're in Orlando or you happen to be vacationing, not next week, but the following week out in Orlando, I'll be there. Love to meet up with you in Disney Springs, something like that. I think that's it. Thanks for getting the reference, Jeff. One of my favorite movies. I love that kind of references. I like stick around. I love that kind of stuff. All right. I think that's it. 7:02. I really don't know who's live. I'm sorry about that. Creator Talk Live tonight. Good Morning Disney tomorrow, 9:15 my time. Also, I'll announce on the show in a minute, in a couple hours, but I'll tell you now, 9:15 my time, 10:15 your time on YouTube is my show for Good Morning Disney. But starting next week at 8:30 my time on Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse, we'll be doing a pre-show show. Just audio on Clubhouse. You want to check that out. Field of Dreams, yes. To Disney Baker. Hey, you guys did a great job on that show. I really enjoyed seeing your stuff. I'm live. I live an hour from Field of Dreams, so you're up in Iowa. They're going to have a game up there. Nice. I love that movie. I love Shoeless Joe Jackson. I love Darth Vader playing catch in the field. All right, that's it. Love you all. Have the best day ever. See you in 2.5 hours for Creator Talk Live. If you're just here for Disney, Good Morning Disney tomorrow at 9:15, 8:30 a.m. Central Time on Clubhouse for the pre-show show. I think that's it. I'm going to go have some coffee. Love you all. See you soon. Bye for now.